What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hunting season is quickly coming upon us. We want to give you guys a review of the HHA NYTRX Pro. These babies are going to be on our primes this year. Let's go over these setups today, show you how to sight that bad boy in, and give you our initial thoughts.
That's right. So not only are we going to do that, but at the end of this video, this could be your bow for 2026. 2025 is my bow. 2026 it might be your bow. Stick around to the end, figure out how you can win this Prime RVX 34, which is my bow for this year. NYTRX Pro from HHA with the QAD rest. This thing is ready to rock for you. Couple of things right out of the box I can tell you I love about this sight. First has got to be the pins. I mean, it's the middle of the day right now, but these things are just shining. Bubble is great. The quality workmanship on this sight, I don't know if I felt anything smoother. It's held together amazing. So I'm really excited to put this thing to work. Right now we still have the sight tape on here to get them sighted in. All that's happened so far, put it on the bow, got the axes right at the bow shop. We were at Untamed Archery earlier this week, got Dylan set up, got mine set up. Now we're back here at the yard. We're gonna get the tapes on there. We're gonna tell you a few differences. Then we're gonna roll, give this thing away.
And yeah, we were at the pro shop because I finally got my 2025 setup. I am running the Prime form, which is new for this year. This is the 34-inch axle-to-axle version. My initial short impressions is that this thing is awesome. Super dead in the hand, super quiet. It's the first thing I noticed. I can't wait to hopefully kill an elk with this thing next month. We went with the HHA NYTRX Pro for a couple reasons. Number one, obviously the look and feel and the features that you get, but the biggest feature of the NYTRX Pro is this wheel right here that comes in your box. This wheel is for an interchangeable arrow setup. So we're big tack shooters. We like to shoot 3D archery in the off season. You can set up an arrow for those shoots, set up another wheel for your hunting setup, and you can interchange these lenses on the Pro. That way you're not spending too much time trying to resight back in, which is huge.
It's huge, especially, you know, there's paper tapes on here, which I've said before, I don't really love paper tapes most of the time. And that's because I had before this a different sight that it was straight up and down where a metal tape would have been more sense. But also you had to rip it off and put a new one on every time. This isn't like that. You can have two wheels. That's all you should need. If you change your whole setup, okay, you're gonna have to put in a piece of tape over that. You might have to order more tapes if you run out of them eventually, but it's the way it wraps around here, they're not gonna come undone. The way these wheels pop on and off, you can easily just pull out, this is my 3D sight, this is my hunting sight, boom, good to go, swap the wheels. So honestly, I'm so excited about that. Even though we won't be able to use it to its full capability this season, because we're getting, I mean, we're putting hunting on here right now. That's all we care about at this point. But next year, somebody's gonna use the crap out of it because I'm not gonna have it.
That's right. Another reason that we love this sight is for something that really doesn't matter when it comes to hunting, but it's something we love on our bows, and that is the matching color on this sight to the bow. With the NYTRX Pro, you get I think it's 5 different color options for this sight. With the NYTRX, you get all the same features minus this wheel and minus the color option, which for us, I don't know. We just like our stuff to match, and I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's about $100 more to be able to pick your color and come with an interchangeable wheel. It's kind of a no-brainer. That takes some ease and some stress out of your life, and then obviously it looks a little cooler. So
yeah,
to me, worth it for sure. The biggest difference between the two sights we have here, really the only difference is Dylan has a dove mount on the form, and I have the Picatinny mount on the RVX. So we both wanted to see how this worked. I mean, this one's a little bit tighter. The Prime is meant for a Picatinny. That's how they built it, so I'm excited to run it that way. And the dovetail gives you a little bit more options in sliding the sight in and out for maximum tuning of your bow, your arrow, your whole setup. It really has some benefits, but it's just one more thing on the bow. So it'll be interesting to see if that's worth it over the Picatinny. We'll find out.
You know, when I first think about HHA, everyone knows, I feel like everyone knows HHA. It's been around forever. They're made in the USA. They have a wide variety of sights. We obviously have the NYTRX Pro, which is kind of their, you know, flagship site, I guess you would call it.
Premium.
But they have a wide range of sites from $150 all the way to $600 on their site. They have any site that you really want that's meant for you. And yeah, go check them out. I mean, the pin brightness is great. They come in a 2-pin setup like we have here on our bows. They come in a single. I don't know how much use there is for a single if you can have a double, in our opinion, but they also come in a variety of 3-pin horizontal and 4-pin horizontal for you as well.
Yeah, the ring is great, the bubble's great, everything about it seems to be on point. We're both sighted into about 20 yards-ish, so we're gonna get the target out, we're gonna make sure 20's on point, and then we're gonna put the sight tape on for hunting this year. We're gonna take you along to do that. Couple of things I want to know before we jump into it. You do want to make sure you have the most travel as possible, especially if you are a 3D type person. So you want the wheel all the way up when you start, you want to be on 0, and you want to adjust your whole housing up and down, not the actual wheel itself when you're trying to find 20. Once you get that set, that's done. The housing is done. Your windage, you can manually adjust, no tools needed, very easily get your left and right on point. So we're gonna take you along through some of that. We're pretty close, so it'll just be a little bit of dabbling, make sure we're 100% on. Then we're gonna figure out how do we get this sight tape on here to rock for hunting season.
All right, so we're at 20 yards. We think it's somewhat close. We're at 0 on the dial. Once we get 20 yards in and sighted in, we will then move back to 60, and then we will sight 60 in. But 20 yards, let's start there, see where we land. So left and right is actually pretty solid, but it's a little low. Let's shoot another arrow and just make sure. I only have 2 arrows, otherwise I'd shoot 3. But let's at least make sure there's some sort of pattern there before we make any adjustments. And they're right next to each other.
Those look great.
I would say we're just, I mean, if we're getting real technical, we're a tad low, but we're also a tad right. We'll at least adjust the height first, and then we'll adjust left and right once we're there. All right, so we shot 2 arrows at 20. They're pretty good, but we need to move, obviously, the arrows up a little bit. So what we're gonna do, we're not going to move this dial. If you move this dial, you're not gonna get as much travel out of it. So we're gonna take this housing and move it down just a tad to bring those arrows up. There's 2 screws, Allen screws right here. We're gonna loosen those bad boys up. And they're probably really tight on there, so let's make sure.
And not only are you going to lose your travel, but you're also, it's just not how you sight this in. You're not going to have the right tape. You want to, your 20 has got to be 0 on the sight in tape that it comes with.
Yeah.
So if you got to go up and down, you're moving this.
So we're going to move just a tad, like right in between those 2 lines. I'm not going to go too much because I think a lot goes a long way, or a little goes a long way on these things. I'd rather make small adjustments than have to make big adjustments.
Dylan was just a little low, so we're moving it a little bit down, following the arrow.
Okay.
And both were a tiny bit right. You want to make that quick adjustment too?
Yeah, since we're here, let's make that quick adjustment. So again, what you're going to do is you're going to loosen this knob here. And then counterclockwise is how you're going to move it right. So we're going to move that just a tad out. And then we'll shoot these 2 one more time, see how they land. All right, so we just made those adjustments, and now we're gonna shoot at 20 one more time, see where we fall and make sure it's on, and try to fight the wind that's currently happening a little bit at 20 yards. Shoot, tad windy.
Yeah. That white circle is, I don't know, 2.5, 3 inch circle maybe, so as long as both arrows fall within that middle circle, then we're moving on. First one looks money.
Looks like it's right in there.
Yep.
I felt like I was just a tad bit left holding it, like a tad. So I think it is still just a tad bit right, but as we keep shooting, that's such an easy adjustment with this knob. I'm really not too worried about it, I guess, right now. I think I'm more worried about the height than anything.
And that's all that matters for the actual sight tape.
Right. All right, one more at 20. And we are a little right on that one, which I felt like that one was more middle that I was aiming. So I think it is sighted in at 20. So we're gonna go ahead, bump back to 60, find whatever number that is, and then try and put the sight tape on.
Let's go.
All right, we're at 60 now, and sight tape's at 45. And we're gonna see kind of where it hits. If we can get it somewhat close, we'll show you guys how we would slap a sight tape on there. And we'll need some more adjusting, but at least for the video, we'll give you a good idea of what it's like. 60 yards.
Looked pretty good.
Felt pretty good. Does look a little high, but again, we hit the target. So I think for the sake of the video, let's go back to the table. Let's, for example, say it's 45. We're sighted in, and let's see what the sight tape's like. So we are at 45 on the tape. We have hit a little high, but left to right is perfect pretty much. You know, just for the sake of the video, I think we're going to be about 44 on the sight tape. So let's imagine this. We have our extra wheel that comes with the NYTRX Pro. We have our sight tapes. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to find 45 on the sight tapes here, or 44, and then we're going to put it on the wheel here. We're going to start here, wrap it around the wheel, and we're going to make sure we don't stretch it too much. Just place it on the wheel nice and easy, and then we're going to set that 60-yard mark on the sight tape to the 44 on the sight tape on the bow, and then you will officially be sighted in for your bow, ready to go. So on this tape here, you'll notice that there is a little Allen screw. This is how you're going to take off your interchangeable wheels. So you would loosen that up. It does come off. And then now, since we have our sight tapes here, we're going to take number 44. We're going to find 44 on this mark, and we are going to put it on this wheel right here. All right, so we have sight tape 44. We just took it off all these tapes here. So what we're going to do, we've took off our dial. So the way to do that again is once you unscrew this little Allen screw, unscrew it, you can lift it right off, put the other one on. So one very important step before you throw your sight tape on, these ridged part of the wheel where you kind of have your grip, you want to make sure it's on the left side of your tape. Otherwise your sight tape's going to be upside down. So we're going to start right here, and then we're not going to pull. We're not going to give it too much stretch. We're just going to place it right on and turn the wheel as we go, all the way till we're at the end. Make sure we get it somewhat straight, and we're on. All right, so now that we have our tape on, we've lined the pin to 60 yards here on the dial, and now we're just going to come back to our Allen key here and give it a short little tighten. That way it's tight on here and it's not coming off. And now, in theory, your 0 should be at 20, like it is right there. And you are officially good to go all the way out to 135 yards, which, you know, not sure we'll be shooting it all often, but for 3D, it might be kind of fun. So, additionally, your second pin on this double single pin, which we haven't even touched on yet, is automatically sighted in. So when I'm at 60, my second pin is going to be able to shoot around 74 yards. So you have both pins sighted in, you're ready to go rock in the woods, and that is the sight in process for the HHA NYTRX Pro. Let's go back to the table, give our final thoughts, and go over the giveaway details. All right, there it is. This is the prime form with the HHA NYTRX Pro. We are so pumped to be able to use it this year, and we're going to be using it in a month here, hopefully connecting on the first animal of the year. But now that we gotten this taken care of, there's more. We have the RVX 34 that Justin's giving away. He's going to go over those details.
That's right. So this year, for one, I'm going to shoot a buck. That is step one. Step one, shoot a buck. But this will be your bow for 2026. All you have to do is leave a comment below. Your comment is very simple. The comment needs to be the size of the buck that I'm going to shoot in inches. The closest person to guess that right will win this fully set up Prime RVX4 34 with the HHA NYTRX Pro sight on here. So make sure you leave that comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and you will have the opportunity to win this bow for next season. I will add, I didn't shoot a deer last year, so.
He didn't shoot a buck last year, but I would say the chances of that happening again are pretty low. If I was a betting man and someone was thinking about 0 inches, for your best interest, I wouldn't do that. I would at least go with, 50. We'll put all the details of this giveaway in the description below. That way you know all the details to enter. We'll keep track of it throughout the season. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Comment the inches of the buck Justin will shoot this year, and we will give that baby away at the end of the season. Thank you guys for watching again. Another video for us. Lots of videos coming out soon before season. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.